in the community who read what I say and trust that it's not affected by anything else other than my own opinion, and I think that that trust is very important and has to be kept.
Yeah, Kenny, did you ever get free drinks because you're a blogger?
Well, let's put it this way. I think I've been doing this whole blog advertising thing for almost 2 years now, I think, since, I started blogging 3 years ago. I started doing blog advertising about 2 years ago. So I've been doing it for a very long time, and every now and then there'll be companies approaching me saying that, hey, I got some new products coming up. Can you write this for me? Put a word out. It went to a stage where I'm now earning quite a decent income from it. Sometimes there's too many opportunities coming in until I say, no, I'm not going to do it because my hands are full at the moment. I think people shouldn't be too hard up on blog advertising about the whole ethics side of things. Some people are saying that bloggers who accept advertisements, like crooks or whatever, and also name thrown at us. Okay, I've been doing it for a long time, and I think if the person itself, the blogger itself, we are disciplined enough to set in some restrictions, I think it's doable. I think in a way it's no different from a newspaper publishing advertisements or editorials. If we follow those lines, I think that's fine.
And one thing I suppose is paying off bloggers one way or another, be it with samples or something else. Another thing is advertising. As you get more and more viewers on your blogs, you become a very good platform for internet advertising. How do you feel about that? Do you have advertising on your blogs now? And are you open to doing that as a sort of side income to what you're doing? Meenakshi, for example?
Well, I was having a conversation with my friends about 6 months ago, and she was all like, oh, I made $500 and bought an iPhone for myself with my blog advertisements, and you should put AdSense on your blog. And I said, okay, yay. So I put AdSense, and I made $24 in 6 months. So, yeah, no, it's not working out for me.
Well, what if it were a bit more? You would still be interested, I guess. At least you tried it out.
I did,
yeah. Kenny, have you done that?
Yeah, I've been doing it for many years, actually, in fact.
Yep.
Yeah, I have ads for my blog since a long time ago. I've always been doing it, and it's always been earning me a decent income. Like I said, I put some restriction in. It's not all just ads. It's 90% content and 10% paid advertisements.
Sure. Victor, what about you?
No, I don't have ads on my blogs.
Would you consider it?
No, I'd rather they come in bigger chunks, big endorsements. Yeah.
And Daryl, would you consider it, Daryl?
I don't have any either, but I probably would consider it, as long as it's not like an endorsement. It's like just passive, like Google AdSense kind of advertisements.
Okay, because we have this quote here on screen. I'll read it out to people who are online. It's a quote from David Ogilvy, one of the advertising gurus. He says, does advertising corrupt editors? Yes, it does, but fewer editors than you may suppose. The vast majority of editors are incorruptible. Does that apply to bloggers as well? We have a question from online asking about the ethics of bloggers. Is there sort of a code of ethics among bloggers that you are aware of, that you feel you're part of?
If there is anything, then it's unspoken of. Let's put it this way. There's always been a lot of products coming, a lot of companies approaching Malaysian bloggers lately, and they put our product out, and if we do not like a product, no matter what you say for us, we are unable to deliver the message across. If a product isn't that good, it'll be, it's to be so difficult for us to say, hey, this product is good with a straight face. So people will see through it. People will see through it immediately if you do not like the product and you pretend that you like it.
And do you think the same thing, Daryl, for example? You say you wouldn't say something good about a product you think is bad, but would you think if you were skewed a little bit in the other direction, would your readers get onto that right away?
I think, back to the question about guidelines, there are kind of like websites that talk about guidelines, one of which is transparency, I think. So, I think for me, I wouldn't be swayed by whatever it is, but I think it's a possibility for whoever it is who's getting on the receiving end of tangibles, so, but I think it's one thing to be receiving tangibles and giving a positive review and not saying it, and it's another thing to be getting the tangibles and saying, okay, I'm doing this piece because I've got X and Y. I think that makes a lot of difference to people online, knowing that you're coming forth with full disclosure, saying the motivation behind the piece.
And talking about all those gadgets and products, etc., to what extent do you feel that you actually have an influence, and bloggers like you have an influence on the young internet generation today? Do you get feedback from your readers that they're actually influenced by what they read on your blog? Again, Meenakshi, for example.
I don't know about gadgets because I don't have very many, but
on lifestyle stuff.
But if I, for instance, if I recommend a Body Shop lotion that I like very much, and someone will say, "Oh, is that where you get it? I've been looking for that everywhere." Or someone else will say, "Oh, I tried that last time I was in Body Shop and it was awesome." And then people will write in and say, "Why don't you try this one also since you like that?" So it's a very interactive thing going on.
So in a sense, a blog can be a good avenue for generating what we call the viral effect, sort of word-of-mouth effect going on the internet.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And the rest of you, do you see the same thing happening with what you're writing?
But could I add something here? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
To the previous thing. It's also because my readers trust me. I don't think it would work for anyone, like, randomly. If I was just to, click, a random blog and it said, do this. Unless I've been reading them for a while, I don't think I would take their word for anything.
I look at this from, especially if you get a new gadget, for example, or a new sample of whatever, lotion, whatever, what typically would make you say something good about it? What's the cool factor for you? You have Victor, for example, you're doing gadgets. Is there a certain kind of cool factor you're looking for always?
Usability, how user-friendly a certain product is. But as I mentioned earlier, because of the instant messenger widget I had on my blog, this instant feedback between readers and myself makes it a lot more interesting, because I stay online for around 8 hours a day. I get around 30, 40 questions a day just via that instant messenger widget. And this gets me closer to the readers. And this is how we build out the trust, not just, sometimes not just reputation, but how helpful you become, how attentive you are, and sometimes when they have questions, whether you're willing to dig up the answers for them. Those are the things.
Yeah, so do you say you're online 8 hours a day? I guess the rest of you're online for quite a few hours a day. Let's take a poll here. Daryl, how much time do you think you spend online every day?
3/4 of my waking hours.
3/4 of your working hours, most of the day basically when you're not sleeping.
Yeah, when I'm not sleeping.
Or eating. Kenny?
About 8 hours is about right, yeah.
8 hours.
Work, normal, non-blog related work, yes.
Right, I mean actually?
Well, I would say about the same, but not 8 hours because I wake up a lot later.
Right. So the image you get from users like you, and of course the generations that you represent, is that it is really truly an online existence to a great extent. And does that mean that online is truly the new it for companies out there who want to reach you? Is it the new way for media to reproduce itself, to distribute itself? Is online it to sell gadgets, music, etc., etc.? Is that kind of the only way forward now?
I think, for me, it is it, but it is not a be-all and end-all of advertising for promotion of products and stuff like that. I think it needs to look into perspective together with traditional forms of media, traditional form of advertising. If you do it purely online, it may not work that well from past experiences. But if you do, say, a print ad and an online ad, then it works a lot better from past experiences.
And what about India, for example? Do you see the people you associate with in India, are they very much an online bunch of people?
For reviews, well, not movie reviews, but for gadget reviews, definitely.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense that, if you're using the thing to get online, you might as well look at the online reviews for it.
Yeah.
But still for movies, still for books, everything is mainly newspaper driven. I mean, I don't think the online media has replaced that yet.